Insta Avenger. It'd be a great movie. It's the Avenger movie in 15 seconds every day. It'd be amazing. No, I'm just saying. Or the Avengers all taking pictures. How would the Hulk take a selfie though? The Hulk would have to have the iPhone 6 Plus. Hello adventurer, so we are gonna jump right back into our Insta adventure. Anybody see my iPad mini? Oh, you should not throw that, Jeremiah. Okay, so let's jump right in. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna post our first photo. But you're probably saying to yourself, I know how to post a photo. Well, just be patient. There might be just one or two tips or tricks along the way. And at the end of the day, what I'm gonna show you is how I post a photo using Instagram. So you're always gonna go here to this part. I never take my photos in real time with Instagram. I don't think you should ever open up Instagram and take your photo there. You should take your photos in one of the native apps and have those stored. And so I'm gonna go to my camera roll. And here I have a couple of photos. I'm gonna choose this one here. This is a photo of Logan and Jeremiah. They're two of the guys that are working on this project. Jeremiah's the guy always behind the camera, and Logan is my 16-year-old that is helping him. So this is the one I want. For me, I never will shoot a photo in the square, because shoot wider than you need. Just leave it on photo, don't change it to square, because this is where you can go through and just kind of find how to just kind of crop it slightly like that. And now I'm ready for the next one, okay? Now, what I first will do is I'll go through and I will look at maybe a filter. I can pick them and see which one that I want. So take this one, for example. I always like to use this one, but a lot of people don't know two things. One, if I press and hold it, I can actually move that filter over to kind of a default position. Or if there was a filter that I never liked, I could go through and hide it. The other thing that's really cool is if I hit it again after it's selected, I can adjust how much of the filter I want, because sometimes the filter is just too much. This button over here is if I wanted to add a border. Each filter has its own custom border with it. I myself don't want a border around it, so then I'm gonna say that that's okay with the filter. The other thing that I like to do is up here, this is where I have some additional settings. So when I go here, what I will always typically do is go all the way to the end, and I'll put a little vignette on it. Vignette is just, it darkens kind of the corners, and I think has a really cool look on it. So again, you can adjust that, and so I say that's good. And then a lot of times what I'll do is I will go through, and this is kind of the blur button. With that, I just can kind of pinch and zoom and kind of find what level of I like. Sometimes I'll use linear, and linear, again, I can just see as I'm moving it around and say, okay, I just want to maybe show their faces. So that works really good, so I'm really happy with that, and then I'll say that's okay. There's other things that you can do. Let's say that I felt this was a little bit dark. I could brighten it slightly. This is where you just kind of learn to play with kind of what works best for you, but I will always usually add a little bit of vignette, a little bit of blur. I will go through and pinch and zoom and crop how I'm doing that. So then when I go to next, it's ready for me to go. And so I'm gonna go through and write my caption. Now, what I wanna show you though, is there is a few different ways to mention or tag someone. So you can tag a photo, and we're gonna talk about that later. But in your description, sometimes I like to actually mention the person. So if I'm going to do that, you use the @ symbol, and then if I want to start typing their name, so here is Bob6464 and @Jeremiah. Then I can write my descriptions. I can add those @ signs at any time. I just wanted to show you that a lot. This is what is called a mention. So sometimes when somebody says tag them in a photo, what they're really saying is mention them, but it's essentially the same thing. You don't have to worry about it. but this is how you would do that. If I get my caption all together, this is where I would tag people. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. What's the difference? Add to photo map. Never have any of these on by default. I'll explain why later. So this is the anatomy of how I'm going to post. I'm going to fill out this description here really quick, and then we'll post it. Okay, so this is now all the copy that I want to hear. So I am going to hit share, and ding, 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 it is up on Instagram. Now, as I'm going through, I realized that I misspelled the word team. Now, here's a great new feature of Instagram, is a lot of people never hit these 3 little dots here. If I can go through here, I can edit. And now I can edit my post, and I don't have to delete. I don't have to add a bunch of other, and I forgot. So I see that happen a lot of times where people forget to mention somebody, so they keep commenting, or they go back and they keep adding different things to it. You can just go back and edit your post by clicking on that part right there. So there you have it, more tools for your adventure. So here's your next step. You're gonna go through and you're gonna find a photo. And I want you to play around with some of the filters. Go through and crop it and get it all the way you just like it. And then when you go to post it, I want you to use either the hashtag or tag someone in that and then post that. You can tag me, tag Jeremiah, tag Bob6464. Doesn't matter. Just have fun and post about your adventure, because it begins right now.